on Wednesday, May 30th, 2018, in the boardroom at 6300 Irvington Boulevard, Houston, Texas, at 12:18 p.m. I wish to extend a warm welcome to everyone present and this meeting Board of Trustees. As trustees, we are here to set goals, listen to reports from the superintendent, approve budgets, contracts, personnel appointments, and make policy for the district. It is not the role of the board to make the day-to-day operational decisions. The management and day-to-day operations of the department are the responsibility of the superintendent. We have policies and procedures in place to resolve concerns and issues. This is a public meeting of the Board of Trustees, not a meeting of the public. Prior to this meeting, board members received information related to items on today's agenda. Agenda items will not necessarily be handled in the order listed on the notice. This meeting is open to all who wish to attend and hear the matters discussed. During the course of this meeting, the board may determine that a closed session is necessary. In that event, the board will meet in closed session to consider matters duly posted for this meeting as permitted by sections 551.071 to 551.084, inclusive of the Texas Government Code. I respectfully ask that you please refrain from talking while others are speaking and that cell phones are turned off or in silent mode. Thanking you for taking the time to join us for your interest in the Harris County Department of Education. All right. Where is this? Okay, action items, non-consensus. Consider approval of the following new positions. Sarah, do I need to read these?
No, sir, just as listed.
Okay, so as it's listed on your agenda, do I have a motion?
A second.
Got a motion by Mr. Wolf, second by Mr. Dick. Do I have any discussion?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Sumner.
I have two basic questions. Are these positions covered by the current budget?
They're going to be included in the new budget for FY 18-19.
So when are we going to hire these people?
They're going to start with the advertising now, and if they need to be hired in this fiscal year, we'll have enough, be able to cover them in this fiscal year, maybe 1 or 2 months.
For out of our current budget?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to transfer money from one category to another?
Yes, yes, within line items.
Okay. Next question, Mr. Superintendent, can you explain to us the necessity for all of these new positions?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Trustee Sumners. The premise behind this is that by the board pre-approving these new positions that are part of the 2018-19 budget, we can start with the interviewing and hiring practices of them, and we don't have to wait till the end of July and going into August when the hiring season is pretty much over for public education. So this is really the ability to be able to have us act a little bit quicker. Most districts are usually handicapped to some extent by getting a budget approved and being able to hire for new positions. But by y'all doing this, it really, really helps not only our campus level principals, but also our division leaders in getting these positions filled while we continue to go through budget workshops, which we'll have a couple of those, and ultimately present to you a budget for your approval. So it's just for positions that are going to be embedded in that. Yes, sir.
And I also like to add the first two, the adult ed, those are related to the $500,000 grant that we received about a month ago. They are fully funded by adult ed program.
So those first two items that you're referring to is not part of the 2018.
Right. That's part of this year that we need to get started for this year.
Okay.
I just note that I think it's common for in the education, arena for people to get hired and to apply during the summer. I think that's pretty common practice. That's the only thing I'd note.
I agree. My question, though, is what is causing the necessity for these new positions?
Well, hold on. The primary necessity is that it's been my experience that some of the best candidates that we can hire are typically done in May and June. And if we were to wait for the board to approve the budget in later June or July, then we would be denying ourselves the opportunity to hire the best people we can find.
That's really not what my question is.
I think he's asking why are you going, or why are you adding new positions?
Oh, okay. as you know, we've gone, is that what your question is, Mr. Summers? I wasn't
Yes.
comprehending that. We've gone through an extensive budget process with every single division in the entire department. And during that process, I think we held maybe, 25 meetings and going through SWOT analysis.
Right.
A number of divisions have requested a number of different positions. Some of them because the divisions are growing, obviously some of the school districts, some of the campuses because they're increasing enrollment and trying to maintain safe ratios where we have enough staff per students. And so not everybody's request was fulfilled, but we were able to, based on what the tax rate looks like and the rate that we're going to ask the board to approve, we thought that by adding these positions, it would be safe to maintain a balanced budget with the projected tax rate that we're going to be looking at. And they would also be able to maintain the integrity of those departments and what they're currently doing and trying to do moving forward. Dr. Amesco.
They're also all revenue-related items. In other words, there's an offsetting revenue that helps generate revenue for the department. For example, school-based therapy, there's if that position's not available, then we need to go and adjust the revenue as well. Same thing with special schools, choice partners. They're all related to the ability to generate revenue.
Well, I'm glad to hear this, but, this is a really sketchy agenda item here for us to have to draw all of this information out. So basically what you're saying is that we create the new positions, but the cost is going to be offset by anticipated revenues.
Right, and if you planned, the recruitment process takes 30 to 60 days sometimes. And so if you start in September 1, and you wait 2 months into the year, you already lost 2 months of revenue, potential revenue. So we want to recruit early, start from the very beginning so we can bring in revenue during the year.
Okay, my questions have been answered. Thank you.
Anybody else? All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes unanimously. All right, we are now going to go into executive section under Texas Government Code pursuant to any and all purposes permitted by sections 551.001 through 551.084, including but not limited to 551.071 through 551.074. It is now 12:26, and we are adjourned to executive session. Now, what does that say, 56? We're back in session. We're now here to consider the employment of the four listed, three?
Top three.
Oh, well, only three, the top three. The Chief Communications Officer, Chief of Staff of Administrations, and Director for Adult Education. Do I have a motion? Got a motion by Dr. Troutman. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dick. Do I have any discussion? Hearing no discussion. All in favor of these positions, please raise your hand.
All the positions?
The three. That's what the motion is for. Okay. All opposed? Okay. All abstaining?
I'm opposed.
Okay. So we have 5-4, 2 opposed. Motion passes. Okay. Do I have any other motions? Got a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Dick. I hear any discussions? Okay, all in favor? Motion passes unanimously. We are adjourned. That looks like 1:58.